as the full moon cast an eerie glow over the vast expanse of the open sea. A chilling tale unfolded beneath the waves. Deep within the ocean's mysterious depths, a pack of malevolent werewolves, cursed by an ancient maritime spell, emerged from their watery lair. These vengeful creatures were not bound by the limitations of land, for their curse allowed them to seamlessly transition between the worlds of water and air. As the moonlit waves crashed against the hulls of unsuspecting ships, the werewolves would silently rise from the ocean depths, their eyes gleaming with a sinister hunger. Their haunting howls echoed across the desolate seas, sending shivers down the spines of sailors who dared to venture into the moonlit waters. Legend spoke of a seafaring clan that had long been forgotten, their bloodline cursed by a vengeful sorceress who sought revenge for an ancient betrayal, now condemned to roam the oceans for eternity. These werewolves sought to wreak havoc on anyone who crossed their cursed path. One fateful night, a lone ship sailed through the haunted waters, its crew oblivious to the lurking danger beneath the surface. As the moon reached its zenith, the werewolves rose from the depths, their sleek, fur-covered bodies blending seamlessly with the shadows. With supernatural speed and agility, the werewolves attacked, tearing through the ship's hull with razor-sharp claws. Panic ensued as the sailors fought desperately against the onslaught of the ocean-dwelling monsters. The werewolves, fueled by centuries of rage, showed no mercy, their eyes reflecting the glint of the moon as they tore through the ship's terrified occupants. But amidst the chaos, a mysterious artifact was revealed, hidden in the captain's quarters. It pulsated with an otherworldly energy, and the werewolves, momentarily distracted, hesitated in their relentless assault. As the sailors fought back with newfound determination, the artifact's power seemed to repel the creatures, forcing them back into the inky depths. The surviving sailors, shaken but alive, clung to the remains of their shattered ship as they sailed away from the cursed waters. Little did they know that the artifact held the key to breaking the werewolves' curse, a secret that could either save or doom the seas from the impending terror that lurked beneath the waves. As the sailors sailed towards an uncertain horizon, the haunted werewolves regrouped in their underwater lair, plotting their revenge. The curse remained unbroken, and the mysterious artifact held the answers to a destiny that was intricately entwined with the dark, endless depths of the ocean. The chilling howls of the werewolves echoed through the night, leaving an unsettling air of suspense and foreboding in their wake. The true extent of their vengeance was yet to be revealed, and the ocean held its secrets close, guarding the ominous fate that awaited those who dared to sail its haunted waters. The surviving sailors, scarred by the nightmarish encounter, found themselves haunted by the memory of the werewolves' ferocity. Little did they realize that the artifact they had unwittingly discovered held the key not only to the werewolves' curse, but also to an ancient prophecy foretelling a cataclysmic event that would plunge the entire world into darkness. As they sailed away from the cursed waters, the sailors studied the mysterious artifact, seeking to unlock its secrets. The artifact emanated a strange energy, pulsating with an otherworldly rhythm that seemed to resonate with the moon's phases. Unbeknownst to them, the werewolves were not far behind, their supernatural senses leading them in pursuit of the sailors who carried the key to their salvation or demise. As the sailors delved deeper into the artifact's mysteries, they discovered that it was linked to an ancient prophecy that spoke of a celestial alignment that occurred once every century. This alignment, when combined with the artifact's power, had the potential to break the werewolves' curse and banish them back to the abyss from which they came. However, the sailors faced a daunting challenge. The prophecy also warned of a choice that would determine the fate of the world, the choice between breaking the curse and unleashing a far greater evil upon the seas. The artifact's power, if misused, could bring forth an ancient sea deity that sought to consume the world in an eternal oceanic darkness. As the sailors grappled with the weight of this revelation, they found themselves torn between the desire to free the werewolves from their cursed existence and the fear of unleashing an unimaginable horror upon the world. The werewolves, closing in with each passing night, could sense the artifact's awakening power and sought to manipulate the sailors for their own malevolent purposes. The tension aboard the ship grew as alliances shifted and trust waned. Whispers of the ancient prophecy spread among the crew, sowing seeds of doubt and suspicion. Some believed in the potential for redemption, while others feared the consequences of tampering with forces beyond their understanding. As the celestial alignment drew near, the sailors faced a perilous choice: the artifact, now pulsating with an intensity that matched the rising tension among the crew, held the destiny of both the werewolves and the world in its mystical core. The haunted seas awaited the sailors' decision, and the ancient prophecy cast a shadow over the turbulent waters, leaving an air of uncertainty and impending doom in its wake. The sailors stood at the crossroads of fate, with the choice they made determining the future of the cursed werewolves and the world they sailed upon. As the sailors grappled with the weight of their decision, the werewolves closed in, their eyes gleaming with a predatory hunger. Unbeknownst to the sailors, the werewolves had devised a cunning plan to manipulate the unfolding events. Through a supernatural connection with the artifact, the werewolves whispered malevolent suggestions into the minds of the crew, sowing discord and paranoia. The once unified crew found themselves divided, each faction advocating for a different course of action regarding the artifact. Some argued for breaking the curse and granting the werewolves redemption, believing in the possibility of breaking the cycle of vengeance. Others, fueled by fear and suspicion, warned against meddling with forces beyond their control, cautioning that the consequences could be catastrophic. As the celestial alignment drew closer, the artifact's power intensified, amplifying the crew's inner turmoil. The ship sailed through storm-laden waters, mirroring the tempest brewing within the hearts of the sailors. The werewolves, unseen beneath the churning waves, reveled in the chaos they had orchestrated, their sinister laughter echoing through the tumultuous night. Amidst the growing discord, a figure emerged from the shadows, an enigmatic stowaway who seemed to possess knowledge of the artifact's true potential. With a voice that carried an air of ancient wisdom, the stowaway spoke of a forgotten prophecy within the prophecy, a hidden truth that could guide the sailors through the treacherous waters of destiny. According to this hidden prophecy, a sacrifice of great significance was required to channel the artifact's power without awakening the malevolent sea deity. The sacrifice had to be a choice made from pure intentions and tainted by fear or vengeance. It was a revelation that added a new layer of complexity to the sailors' dilemma, for the sacrifice required could be a person, an idea, or a fundamental aspect of their world. As the stowaway's words echoed through the ship, the crew faced an even more profound choice. They had to decide not only whether to break the werewolf's curse, but also what sacrifice they were willing to make to ensure the world's safety. The werewolves, now aware of the stowaway's influence, redoubled their efforts to turn the crew against this mysterious guide, sensing that the key to their salvation lay within the stowaway's revelations. The celestial alignment approached, and the ship sailed toward an uncertain fate. The sailors, torn between redemption and the fear of unleashing an ancient evil, grappled with the weight of their choices. The artifact pulsed with energy, reflecting the collective turmoil of the crew. As the werewolves bided their time beneath the waves, ready to seize whatever destiny the sailors chose, the intrigue deepened, and the waters grew more ominous as the ship sailed into the heart of an otherworldly storm, where the lines between curse and salvation blurred, and the true nature of the artifact's power awaited revelation. As the ship sailed into the heart of the celestial alignment, the sailors, plagued by doubt and suspicion, hesitated in their decision-making. The discord among them reached a fever pitch, with factions within the crew growing increasingly hostile. The enigmatic stowaway, despite their efforts to guide the sailors toward a path of sacrifice and redemption, found themselves facing accusations of deceit and manipulation. The artifact, pulsating with an energy that mirrored the chaos on board, seemed to react to the growing animosity. The celestial alignment intensified, casting an eerie glow over the ship as the moon reached its zenith. The werewolves, sensing the imminent culmination of centuries-old plans, rose from the depths of the ocean, their eyes aflame with anticipation. In the midst of the turmoil, the sailors, unable to agree on a unified course of action, made a fateful decision. Desperation and fear prevailed as they attempted to use the artifact's power without fully comprehending its consequences. The sacrifice required remained elusive, lost in the midst of their conflicting intentions. As the artifact's power surged, the celestial alignment reached its peak. The sea churned violently, and an otherworldly force began to awaken. The malevolent sea deity, suppressed for centuries, stirred in the depths, drawn by the misuse of the artifact. The werewolves, their curse momentarily lifted, now faced an even greater threat as the ancient evil rose to reclaim dominion over the seas. The ship, caught in the maelstrom of dark energies, began to disintegrate. The werewolves, their hopes for redemption shattered, howled in despair as the world around them crumbled. The sailors, realizing the magnitude of their mistake, faced the wrath of both the awakened sea deity and the vengeful werewolves. In a nightmarish crescendo, the ship was consumed by the roiling waves, and the sailors, along with the werewolves, vanished into the abyss. The artifact, now corrupted by the unleashed darkness, sank to the ocean floor, its once mystical power twisted into an eternal curse. The seas, once haunted by the malevolent werewolves, now teemed with an even greater evil. The ocean's depths became a realm of perpetual darkness, a consequence of the sailors' misguided choices. The enigmatic stowaway, their warnings ignored, disappeared into the shadows, forever haunted by the echoes of a world undone by the pursuit of redemption gone awry. And so, the seas became a desolate expanse, forever marked by the tragic tale of sailors who sought to break a curse but instead unleashed a far more terrible fate. The werewolves, now condemned to an eternity of servitude to the awakened sea deity, roamed the darkened depths as avatars of vengeance, their once hopeful quest for redemption twisted into an eternal nightmare. The story ended not with salvation but with a terrible, irreversible darkness that swallowed the world whole.